Another report is coming out showing just how bad kids are performing academically. Another consequence that we're having now with pandemic, exacerbating problems that I imagine were already existing, but have gotten so much worse. Let's see if we can pull this up here. Yeah, worrying trends in BC's testing of grade 10 students. I imagine this also speaks volumes towards the rest of the country as well. But if you look at their actual testing scores, if you go through there, only 52% of BC grade 10 students completed the grade 10 literacy assessment. Only 47% completed the grade 10 numeracy assessment. So, reading and writing for literacy, math for numeracy.
Yeah.
But what's shocking, of those students who completed the grade 10 literacy assessment, 74% were proficient or above. So essentially only 74% of high schoolers in BC right now doing this testing were considered literate, to have reached an adequate level of literacy. And only 40% were proficient in numeracy. So, yeah.
Can you imagine that represent like the next society, like what we are going to? Like it's what we would do, the future, it's the kids, they represent everything.
Yeah. This is like, there is going to be an entire cohort, this whole generation that has been living through all of this absolute BS that we're putting up with these rolling lockdowns and restrictions, stay-at-home school, closing down schools, remote learning, all of that, restrictions with teachers. This is talking about high school students, but even if you consider little children and masking and showing up facial expressions and socialization and their basic development, to maybe some slightly older kids, their social circles and things their social development is going to be impeded. You're going to have so many issues. And this is in high schoolers who, imagine if you were already kind of on the edge, you're one of the students who were at risk of dropping out, or you have some other issues, you're just kind of barely motivated, and then suddenly you're in and out of school and you're doing remote learning. There are so many people who are just getting lost on the side, and I feel like it's all these people we just stopped and aren't thinking about while we're battling what now with the Omicron variant has basically become a cult. But we're still on YouTube. I shouldn't talk about that. Forgive me.
But we need to consider the fact that with the closure, with the mask and everything that is surrounded the education, a lot of people would have a psychological problem as well. They would need to see me as a child. If I had all of this going on in my life, I would probably be traumatized, and I would probably need to see doctors. And
mental health is a whole other major issue during the pandemic. The fact of imagine what we are doing to our kids right now. I saw this was back in 2020. I believe it was at McMaster in Hamilton. Their sick kids hospital saw, I think it was tripling, at least 3 times the admissions for suicide attempts among children and teenagers due to lockdowns and pandemic restrictions. Well, during that period, which is absolutely astounding. These things we do not consider with these narrow-minded sort of tunnel vision focus on, we have to get the COVID cases down, we need to destroy our society to get there. There are so many other consequences. The harms of lockdowns are so much greater than any possible benefit. It is shocking to think what we're doing.
And the fact that they kind of mind the children too for, the segregation, the polarization as well. So the society is going to be more and more and more polarized, and more the crime will being higher. And now people will be less and less and less educated. So what's going on there?
We're training an entire generation of people to become dependent thinkers, not independent. We're, destroying their education. We're teaching them to be dependent on the government for all guidance, for financially, you're laying people off and telling them to rely on government money. It's we're just raising this whole generation of people, training people that, it's time to just let the government lead the way, do everything they say. It's really quite sad. We're intentionally creating a generation of uneducated sheep is what it kind of looks like to me.
Rebel Daily Live Stream. It's hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the big boss man, Ezra Levant, and Tuesdays and Thursdays by me, Sheila Gunn Reid, and my good friend, David Menzies. On the live stream, we talk about the news of the day, we show some videos, and we interact with our viewers at home. We stream at 12 noon Eastern, 10 Mountain. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey.